designers and creators from DIGITALAX, the first digital fashion operating system on Ethereum. My guest today is msistema. Marc is a Spanish graphic designer, now based in Brussels. He has worked primarily in branding, art direction, and packaging products for numerous agencies. Since he has started his solo career, he is specializing now in motion design and 3D fashion, making seamless and satisfying physical-based loops. Marc designed the Crypto Bitch and the Whale Hunter ERC 721 single edition pieces for DIGITALAX and has a unique insight into animations and the art of perfecting a loop. Please enjoy. Hi, Marc. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, hello everybody.
Hi, it's great to have you here.
Thanks.
Start us off, I'd love to hear a little bit about your background and how you first got into crypto and the NFT art space.
Oh yeah. Well, as you just said, I'm a graphic designer, so I'm a graphic designer. So a lot of what I do is mostly, what I used to do is, as you see, like typical graphic design, like branding, websites, a lot of packaging, all this type of stuff. Since some time ago, I started learning some 3D and animation and all these things, and started to publish on Instagram. And right now, it's basically, I do most of my time is doing like product shots and this type of stuff, and all this just like I don't exactly know how I got into crypto, like in the NFT part of crypto, because I used to, like, I was into crypto before that, not as an artist. And I don't really remember, because you can see here some of my this was my first drop at Nifty Gateway. I don't know if you know the thing. And I do this kind of stuff right now, like seamless digital 3D loops. And this is basically my background, so to speak.
That's amazing. Pull up your drop on Nifty Gateway, because I did see your piece there, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant, by the way. I absolutely loved it. I was speaking to one of our coworkers, in Whale, and he sent me this post on Reddit, basically, and he was like, "Is this Marc Ferrer Vives? Is this guy that you're interviewing today?" And I was like, "Yeah. What's up?" And he's like, "This piece that he's doing on Reddit, it's blowing up."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Yes, this is him. and so right now there is about 142.8K views on Reddit.
Yeah. This one, it blew up. It blew up pretty big. Yeah.
I would love to, hear your inspiration behind that piece. Was it because, Bitcoin kind of reached its all-time high, which is so fitting?
Yeah. It was because of that, of course. But I mean, I said this in the comment, but I actually posted it before 20K, because I knew that if Bitcoin gets to 20K, then there will be a lot of memes. So I wanted to go a little ahead of that, so it doesn't get buried in all the memes. But that was the inspiration. I know usually everything I do is like I try to like experiment with new techniques, and usually I get new ideas when I'm experimenting things. So here I was trying to make like something explode, but maintain something inside of what is exploding. And then I saw that Bitcoin was about to blow up, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do it.
I love that. I love that you use this piece to kind of create like a perfect loop. And then at the same time, it's so literal, right? It's like, it's exploding, and you actually did that. It's exploding from fiat, which is just brilliant.
Yeah.
And so, and I love that idea of staying ahead of the curve, because that's kind of what you have to do, right, in this space. You kind of have to predict what there's going to come out, in the near future, and you want to stay ahead of that.
Yeah. Totally.
What is your advice for kind of noticing these trends and making sure that you're staying on top of them, instead of, like you said, like being buried in that, large
I don't.
space of just humans and things like that.
I think a big part of it is just pure luck,
Hmm.
because like I don't know. For me, in everything I do, I do what I like and what I want to do, and sometimes it flops and sometimes it goes well. Because actually this same piece in Instagram it flopped. Like it had like 1,000 views when I usually have like 20K views, something like that. So
Hmm.
you never know. And also it's you Instagram is not a very crypto uh, space, so to speak, right? Because people there it's not like they are not crypto savvy, so probably this piece doesn't resonate with them. And in Bitcoin subreddit, well, it does, right? So
Hmm. So this piece is called The New World Order. So if you guys want to
yeah.
just go on to Reddit or Twitter and give it an upvote, give it a like because it deserves
Yeah.
it. So
Oh,
that's first of all.
yeah. Yeah, it is also available as an NFT if you want. Like
Yes.
the actual is live, guys.
I'm going to send the link to the makerspace, that piece right now. It's a 1 out of 1, so go check
Yeah.
it out. So going back to your Nifty drop, I when I was browsing through your Instagram profile, I was just I think it's a process, right? I think it's a cycle. I see your piece, I go, what is this? This is so satisfying, but it's also kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I love it, So
Yeah.
you go through this process.
Yeah,
Of,
you're disgusted, but you can't stop watching, right?
exactly, and it's perfect like that, right? I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many, because you need to stand out in some way, and especially this piece. I would love you to kind of explain how you found this inspiration. To me, it kind of looks like the snake shedding its skin, so it's like a process of
Yeah.
renewal.
I'm not seeing your screen right now, so
Okay, let
I don't
me.
know which one are you talking about.
So I'm talking about the piece that you did on
Yeah, which
Nifty.
one of the three? Which one of the three?
The
Like
Om
the.
Nom.
Oh, okay, nom nom. Oh yeah, yeah. This all these pieces, that like this collection, I called it Prejudice, because it's like there's absolutely nothing sexual about it, but your mind makes the connection, right? And this all started, if you go way lower in my profile, there's one animation that has like a blue ball, and it all started there because that one blew up very hard in Instagram. And it's a ball going through a tube, so again, nothing sexual about it, but a lot of people started doing like weird comments about it. And I thought about myself, wow, it's weird that people make this connection, because I didn't do it, right? And so then I started doing more of those, and being every time a little more explicit, right? Until with the Nifty drop, I just like I went all the explicit I could without going sexual, I think. And the inspiration for this is just let's try to see where the boundaries are, where the limits are of doing something like that.
I love the fact that you didn't mean to make it sexual, but then the pieces just end up being or
Yeah.
that's the direction that it's being taken. I'm looking at your Instagram profile right now, and most of these pieces are very, very satisfying, and that's kind of it's like that feeling when you scoop like with a spoon, you scoop out that perfect spoon of peanut butter or whatever. It's all like that smooth, and it just gives you the chills because it's how it's supposed to be. And so how did you get from that? How did your art kind of evolve, so to say? How did it come to this point, having this series
Yeah.
now based on satisfying work?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel that it evolved that much. Like as you said, it is still satisfying, right? It's just a little bit different, because like most of them are just like abstract stuff, right? Like very abstract, that it just like it perfectly fits, and it's a perfect loop and animates, and it's nice to see it. But then some of the pieces, like for example, um, I can show it to you. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can try to share the screen again.
No worries.
No ways, right? It's not working. Can you see it right now? No, you can't.
Let me take a look. If not, then you can always tell me the piece, and then I can just, show it to
Okay,
the
okay,
audience.
okay. So I will send it to you. This one. Okay, through. Yeah, I send it to you.
Awesome. I
Through
just
chat.
got it.
Yeah. So this one, for example, it's also satisfying, but it's not something abstract, right? It's like more of a machine that does something. And
Wow.
yeah, this is like for me it's all the same, but it's just maybe this is my designer brain thinking, because the way I think about stuff is I have a problem and I need a way to solve it, right? So these are all solving the same problem, which is let's make something that I like and something that's satisfying and that catches the eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it in many ways. And sometimes I go this more explicit route because I also like it. Sometimes I just go like the let's make something just beautiful, right? And yeah, I don't know. I feel it's all part of the same thing. Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned, the problem and solution kind of way to make a piece of art, because, and of course that kind of pertains to your background, in product designing. And so it's just, could be just, that's just a mode of working in the industry. But, how the brain is separate into two parts, and one of this is the more creative, and one is a more, problem solving and logical side.
Yeah.
So interesting, because some people say that you can't have both. You're either more leaning towards one, or you're more leaning towards the other. So where would you see you kind of going there? Because right now you're combining the two, which I think is why your art kind of blew up, because it's kind of mind-boggling to some people. It's like, how does he solve a problem and he's also being creative at the same time?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
How would you explain that?
So I do think that you lean more towards one or the other, but you can always learn the other part, right? It's like drawing. People always say like I can draw, and it's something like you're born with it. Like I can draw, or you can draw, right? But it's a skill. You just can learn to draw, right? If you put the hours in and you just learn to draw. So for me, this is the same, right? If I think I'm leaning more towards the creative side, because I'm not a super technical person, but some of my animations are quite technical. So it's just something you have to learn, and you just suck it up and you just learn it. If you have a vision of what you want to do, like I want to do this, and I just put the time until I learn how to do it.
I agree. I think it's again, it's like the nurture and nature debate, right? So
Yeah.
it's what
Yeah,
you learn
exactly.
and what you
Yeah.
actually. And this is do you think creativity can be learned?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
There are, yeah, really, 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 really. There, because what is creativity? Because at the end of the day, it's like you have a set of rules, and using those rules, you have to make something that nobody else have done before. For me, that is creativity, right? And there are a lot of tools to get more creative, and this is a big part of what they teach you at least or what they teach me at university when I studied graphic design there, and is ways to make something new, which for the record, anything is completely new, right? Because everything is just a remix of something else. But yeah, there are ways, and I mean, of course, there are more talented people than other people, and some people just super talented, and they don't need anything because they are just talented and they are good at it, right? But yeah, you can learn creativity for sure.
That's interesting because,
Absolutely.
you know, I was having this conversation with someone the
Yeah.
other day, and it's like, you know, I feel like in this world right now, right, it's not who has the most experience, it's who it can be the most creative. And only the 1% kind of succeeds, which is an interesting thought. I don't know if it's true or if it is
Yeah.
going to be true in the future, but it's a very interesting thought, indeed. So, you know, I kind of want to understand more about your history on, you know, graphic design and product designing and how it kind of led to your work or where you are now today.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I work like I worked as a graphic designer for some studios in Barcelona, and I worked for like 8 years as a like a regular graphic designer for studios and things like that, for agencies, and doing mostly branding. Yeah. And then I went to live to Brussels. So I'm right now in Brussels, and you know, I just decided to go freelance. And when I decided to go freelance, I said, okay, I need to learn something new, because I've been like doing this for 8 years, and it was like I couldn't learn something like completely new, right? Because you are working all the time, and new project, and even if you learn new things, you're just like in your little box of what you usually do, right? So for me, it was I either learned to code, or I either learned to make some 3D stuff or animation stuff. And you know, animation and 3D was more like closer to what I usually do, and I started learning that and started posting stuff in an Instagram account that I had. That's why I have this nickname, because it was like an old Instagram account that I had just to stalk things that I liked. And when I started uploading things to Instagram, I was so lazy that I didn't want to make a new one, so I started uploading it there, and then it blew up. And okay, now I have to stay with this nickname because I can change it right now, right? And yeah,
So if
that's
you could change
really.
anything, what would it be? Since you couldn't really change it, so what would you change it to if you could now?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just my name. I don't know. I kind of like it right now, you know, so it's fine.
It does. I was asking Allegra before this interview, how do you pronounce the name, and what
I'd
is it?
say msistema, but I don't know.
System? You don't know.
Msistema. But yeah, I don't know.
I guess it depends on the audience and what they
Yeah.
want to make it, right?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys decide how I'm called. Yeah.
So we have a question from the audience.
Oh
Which
yeah, sure.
animation programs do you use to create these pieces?
Sorry, what animation program?
Yes, do you use to
Oh,
create these pieces?
yeah. So most of them are done in Houdini. I don't know if you know this software. Houdini. Yeah, it's the industry standard for VFX. Like all these explosions and like buildings crumbling and all these like the typical Avengers movie. All the special effects are done in Houdini. Like it's the industry standard for this type of stuff, and it's the industry standard because it's a 100% procedural tool. So what that means, it means that it's super powerful, and it lets you create these very detailed simulations. It's where it excels, but it also means that the learning curve is quite steep, because sometimes you have to code stuff inside it, which is counterintuitive because this is something that's super visual, right? But the fact that you can code stuff in it lets you make it lets you be fully procedural, which gives you a lot of freedom and yeah, in general I think it's better. But yeah, I use Houdini most of the time, and then sometimes I render it like I do the animation in Houdini and I render it in Cinema 4D, just because it's easier to set up everything there and faster.
And thank you for that advice. It's funny because when you said Houdini, the first thing that came to mind, I can't say I've heard of it, but the first thing that came to mind was just magic.
Yeah, and that's why it's called like that.
And
That's
it's
exactly why it's called like that, because the first, like, now, all 3D programs are kind of catching up, but Houdini, it really, like, the first time you see what it can do, it feels like, if you are a 3D designer and you use something like 3ds Max or Maya or something like that, and you see the first time, yeah, like, it looks like magic, because how the hell did they do that, right? Yeah.
it's true. It is
And
true.
I don't have any stocks in the Houdini enterprise or anything. I just really like this software. I think it's really great.
Yeah, and designing, basically, I mean, even coding and things like that, or just rendering, it basically is magic, right? Because all of it is basically just lines of code, and then you make something out of it.
Yeah, totally.
So it's basically magic. Now, relating back to, DIGITALAX, I love the pieces that you coded, and I told you this, especially the crypto bitch and the way I saw those and I just went, how did he come up with these? Just how, how did you come up with the name? How did you come up with the design? And I'm going to show the audience right now,
please.
On what that looks like. And we could start with Crypto Bitch, because it's actually the first outfit, I think, launched by DIGITALAX as well.
Yeah. So, I, like, again, I'm just like, when I do this type of stuff in which I have a lot of freedom, because usually I don't have that much freedom, because as a designer, you sometimes, like, you have to limit to your brief, right? So when I do stuff that I can do anything, like my animations, or in this case the DIGITALAX garment, I just do what I like, right? And I like bomber jackets, and you really like them. And I'd say, how like, let's do, like, really over the top bomber jacket, like something like Louis Vuitton would do if they had the possibility to make any material, like a jacket of any material, right? And that's what I came up with. Because then the crypto bitch thing is because it's like, when you're into crypto, you're crypto's bitch, right? Because they decide your everyday whatever you do, because you're always checking what's happening, right? And also it's like, this is one thing, and also it's like a statement, like I'm a crypto bitch, right? Like, like, you own it. And yeah, I mean, the inspiration for me is like this trend of like super over the top kitsch stuff that like super high-end brands are doing, right? Like something like Versace or Louis Vuitton or something like that.
It's funny, because when I saw this piece, the first thing that came to mind, because I've actually been called a crypto bitch before, and so
really,
yes, I have. And so, because I'm in this space, and so I've actually been called that before. So when I saw that piece, I just showed that to my friend and went, I would wear this 100%, because it's basically just wearing a name tag around. And so it just spoke to me completely. And when you talk about, the Louis Vuitton design, when I saw that, I saw these little imprints on the design, these little imprints. And when I saw those, I thought about Louis Vuitton immediately, because right, like Louis Vuitton, the brand itself, it's very extravagant. It covers all of their designs are covered in their logo. And that's what makes it so interesting, and what makes it stand out. And so it's very cool to see you incorporate that into this design.
Yeah, they are little Ethereum logos, like.
Wow.
And did you catch that? Like yeah, they are the little Ethereum logo. And if you see in the how do you say this in English? In the part that's very near to the hands. I don't know how you say that in English.
Oh, is it the sleeves?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the sleeves, but just the elastic part of the sleeves.
Yeah.
It has these three lines are the ETH symbol.
That's amazing.
So it's all Ethereum themed, because the theme was cryptocurrencies. So this one is like the Ethereum.
That's very interesting. I wonder why what this question is, why didn't you include any other, cryptocurrencies, or was it just because, DIGITALAX is kind of Ethereum based, and so you mainly catered to that?
I don't know. Like, I just felt like it, honestly. Because
I love that.
yeah. Because I mean, if I mean, what else am I going to include? Okay, I can include Bitcoin, and which I already have the Whale Hunter, which is Bitcoin themed. And what am I going to include? Some stupid shitcoin, like I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm a Bitcoin and Ethereum supremacist. That I don't know. Maybe it's that. Yeah.
And again, I love that answer, right? I just felt like it would be hilarious to see, all these different altcoins as well. I feel like, but I love that unity, that kind of consistency.
There's another garment that some other designer from DIGITALAX made, that it's called the shitcoin jacket, I think, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one as well.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And so we have another question from the audience.
Oh yeah, sure.
Can a plot animator ever reach the level needed to make an actual animated film?
Can you repeat the first part, because I didn't hear it?
Yes, no problem. Can a self-taught animator ever reach the level needed to make an actual animated film?
An actual animated film, like what? Like something from Pixar, something like that?
Or let's say just any product made from Houdini.
Oh yeah, of course, I am self-taught. Of course, yeah. Like,
how long did it take for you to learn that process?
How can you learn? Just do there are a lot of tutorials in YouTube to get you started. And I mean, you don't even have to start with Houdini. I use Houdini because I like it, but you can go with Blender, which is free, and it is amazing. Like, you can do like 99% of what I do, you can do it in Blender, honestly. So it's just a matter of going in and doing it, because you definitely can do it. And sorry, and about, like, if you want to do like a full-fledged animation film, it's not about the skill that you need, it's about the time that you don't have, the physical time. Like, you need hundreds of people working on it to be able to do it. Like, I'm pretty sure any single animator from Pixar could do the whole film by themselves if you give them 10 years or 15 years, but it's physically impossible to do it like alone.
Do you usually only create pieces alone, or do you collaborate?
I collaborate sometimes. Like, if you go to my reels, you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like in the third row of my reels, there's one that's like a little head, like a head attached to some legs. That one is a collaboration. And I'm open to collaborate with people. Of course, it's really fun. If I have the time, I like to collaborate with people, for sure.
Yeah, I mainly asked that question because, I know that a lot of artists, they enjoy working independently as well because of that creative freedom. And especially, like you said, right, we only have so much time. And so usually it takes like a team to create like a full-fledged animation. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts on that was. We have another question coming in, and I think a lot of people are interested in this because, they're just kind of baffled because they've never heard of Houdini perhaps, and, it's just this new program that they'd like to get into. So sure. With export, at what resolution do you take it out, and in what kind of formats?
So in general, if it's an animation for Instagram, I just export it at 180 for 1350, which is the portrait Instagram resolution, and at 25 FPS, because Instagram doesn't support anything more than that. I mean, I think it supports 30 FPS, but if you export something like at 60 FPS, it's not going to show it on Instagram. So it doesn't matter. And then if it's client work, it depends on what they ask. If it's for social media, I usually export like the stories format, which is 180 for 1920. And if they want something bigger, like 4K or something like that, well, I export in the resolution they ask me to do. But for Instagram, I do that, like 180 for 1350.
I see. So there you go. You have it. You have your answer on how to export.
MP4, sorry, and the format is MP4. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and so now after talking about, the crypto bitch, what was the most difficult kind of problem that you faced, kind of creating, fashion garments? Because, that might not be what you were doing before. So,
No,
you know,
these are the first
uh,
fashion stuff that I do, and it's what I told you before. Like, okay, like Emma from DIGITALAX reached me and said, okay, would you be willing to do this? And I'm like, man, I have absolutely no idea about anything fashion. Like, I've been using Marvelous Designer, which is the program used to make. Oh, my English, man. It's the program I used to make these garments, and I used to use it for other stuff. Some of my animations in my Instagram are done in Marvelous Designer because it's a very good program for cloth simulation, right? And so what I needed to learn was that, like, the patterns for what I wanted to make. So I started. Okay, I know I want to do a bomber jacket, so let's search for patterns. Bomber jacket, and then I start from there. And so the hardest part was to to understand how a bomber jacket works, right? So where everything is fitted, and how everything is attached together. This was the hardest part, probably. And I'm pretty sure like a proper fashion designer probably sees my stuff and thinks, what the hell is this shit, right? I don't know. But yeah, I know, I like it, so fuck it.
I love these answers, because I guess that's kind of like what you have to do as an artist, right? It's just, I like it. It doesn't matter if you don't, but I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I feel like with creating digital garments, you kind of need to have that knowledge on sewing as well. You kind of, like you said, right, needing to know like how that works, how you put the pieces together. And so, was that kind of the hardest part in creating this piece?
Yeah. Because I search for how do you say it, for bomber jacket patterns. There are a lot of sites in the internet that for people who likes to make their own jackets and their own jerseys, and there are patterns. I remember my grandma having a lot of magazines with patterns, because she used to make her own clothes. So at the end of the day, it's like how it works in the program is that you have your pattern, you retrace it, right? You trace like a vector, drawing, well, like you would do in Illustrator or something like that, and then you say, okay, this part goes attached to this part, and this part goes attached to this part, and then you have your model and you simulate it, and it gets attached all together. And yeah, this for me was probably the most difficult part. And yeah, probably for a fashion designer, this is the easiest part because they studied this, right? But I didn't, so yeah.
It's interesting how DIGITALAX is just bringing different people into this realm and teaching them basically like quote unquote new skills, right?
Yeah.
To kind of create these pieces.
Honestly, I was super surprised when they asked me to do this, because I think Emma saw some of my videos that have some cloth in it, and she told me if I could do this, and I was like, okay, I've never done something like this, and no, I'm super glad she asked me, because I learned a lot about it, and I'm looking forward to making more collections for DIGITALAX and 3D fashion in general, because I really enjoy it, honestly.
And I'm really excited too. I mean, after seeing what you can do, I just want more. Which brings us to our next piece, the Whale Hunter. And this is a question that I really wanted to ask you. Was this piece created for whale?
Sorry. Can you repeat? Sometimes
no problem. This is a question that I really wanted to ask you. Is this piece created for whale? Because it's called the Whale Hunter.
It's wow. It just keeps cutting at the right moment. I don't understand why is it called whale?
Or was this piece created specifically for whale because it's called the Whale Hunter?
Okay. Sorry. Okay. No, not at all. This was no.
You
Honestly,
could have
I
lied. You could have lied.
yes. I mean, it's obviously made for
Yes, exactly.
exactly. No. This actually the idea Emma suggested to do something in that vein actually. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then I went like crazy and did that sprayed stuff all over it. Because again, it's for me it's something like super over the top that some brand like Versace would do,
Mhm.
you know. And yeah, that's basically it. It's a whale hunter and it goes to hunt whales.
That's a great concept. Whale shark, be careful. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We're coming for you. But what are the words that are on the on the patterns? It kind of reminds me of, you're right, not only graffiti, but when you make those paintings as a kid and you spray paint
Yeah.
on a magazine, and then it's like kind of collaging in a way.
Yeah. There are a little bit of memes. There's hodl. There are a lot of hodl. There
Yeah.
are a lot of Lambos, to the moon, and all the typical stuff you get there. And there's I also wrote like crypto beach like
Oh
underneath
yeah,
something.
I see at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. And most of it are Bitcoin patterns and Bitcoin symbols and hand-drawn Bitcoins and all this type of stuff. I don't know. There are a lot of layers on this. I don't
How
really
much?
know
Yeah.
what I exactly put in there. I just like let go.
Which is amazing, because I think, with artists, one thing is, where do I stop? When is it
Yeah,
enough?
that's a hard one. Yeah. When I'm
How do
tired,
you
I
kind of
guess.
relate to that?
Oh yeah, because I'm like I didn't have a problem with this particular one because I don't know. I just at some point I look at it and I feel like it's finished. But with my other animations, it's hard because I'm a little bit of a control freak in that regard because especially with making the perfect loops, like it has to be perfect because otherwise you see the loop and then the whole point of it is uh, it doesn't exist, right? And yeah, it's hard to know when to stop because maybe I spend an hour focusing on one thing that I know I'm the only one is going to see, right?
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it's just a video for Instagram. So it's like, okay, just you have to learn to let it go, and it's hard, at least for
No,
me.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I
Because
mean,
I
even with the
can
art.
like I
Yeah.
can tell you all the errors that there are in my animations. I know all of them and I see them and I hate them. But yeah, it is what it is. And nobody sees them. I do.
It's like your personal stash of like
Yeah,
just pieces
yeah,
that you get. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I like having artists on the show come over before. I mean, it's a problem that all artists face. It's like, should I add more? Is this enough? And so it's
yeah,
hard. I can completely
yeah.
get that.
But I think it's
Yeah.
also like when you do things for yourself, you know when to stop, right? Because if like when you like it, the problem is when you do something to please someone else, and then is when you start asking questions like, is this enough? Like will they like it? Like for a client or anything, it's harder. But like when it's for myself, like when I like it, it's finished.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%, and
Mhm.
props to you for being able to do that as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, yeah, it's the,
and so, just now we mentioned, that there were some memes that were hidden in your pieces,
yeah.
and even with your first piece, you know, uh, there were memes hidden into it, and you mentioned that word quite a few times. So I kind of want to understand, how much do memes actually play a part in your work?
Oh, not much. Not much. Like, yeah, I mean, like this last animation I made with the Bitcoin and that these are memes, but yeah, I don't think they play a huge role because they're like a very like fast thing in the sense that they lose value very fast, right? Because maybe this week this meme is in fashion, and then next week it's another thing. So I'd rather have something that can age well. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think it makes. I think it makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah, here and there, I maybe do something with a meme, right? But yeah. It's not
so we have another question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Have you experimented, or are you planning on experimenting with AI-powered animation, like deep motion?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'd love to. But right now, like, I think it's still not very developed. Like maybe I'm wrong, because I'm really not really into it. But I've seen some stuff that they can do with still images, and then if you do that, like for each frame, you can make an animation with that. But yeah, I think it's a very tedious process. So I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But yeah, I'd love to. Definitely. I'd love to.
Amazing. And following with that, have you worked with audiovisual animations, like short films, movies, commercials, or with musical artists?
No, I don't work in. Well, I haven't worked still in movies, because I think there's like the two parts in this world, like people who are more into the movie stuff, and people who's into more like the commercial ads and publicity. And I'm definitely in that part, because coming from design, you go to that part. So yeah, I do, like, most of my client animations are product shots, product shots. Like for example, if you've seen like in the second row of my Instagram, the middle one, that it's like a little table, most of my work is stuff like that. So yeah, I'd love to work in a film, but I don't know if I'm fitted to work in a film.
Got it. Yeah. And this is, a question that's, I'm not sure if it's too far reaching, because it is pretty far out, but where do you see you and your work in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years, now that you've entered the crypto space?
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I mean, I really like designing. So even if I were able to just make a living just with crypto art, which I'd like to, I think I still get some design projects, because I really like designing. And so yeah, that's like, I see myself still designing and definitely still doing crypto art if I can, because I think it's amazing and it's great how it's all starting, and it's in the very beginning of it, and I think it will get way bigger. And yeah, in 5 to 10 years, like, yeah, I'm gonna launch soon like a studio with a friend, like a proper studio, instead of being like freelance and like, it's gonna be almost the same, right? Because at the end of the day, it's very similar. But yeah, we are finishing the website and all this stuff. But since you also have a lot of work, you can never do it properly. But yeah, I hopefully by the end of the year we'll have the website out and everything will be a little bit more settled. Because right now my website is quite outdated.
I think your website is great, but I mean, I'm so excited to see, the studio launch and the new website launch and everything. Because if it's great now, I don't know, if it can be better, then like I won't know what to expect, And so, like, make sure to keep us updated on that as well. I'm sure the people listening catch up on that. What is something that excites you most about this space, the NFT space?
Oh well, I mean, the NFT itself, right? The fact that something digital can be unique, it's crazy. Like 10 years ago, it's something that it was totally unthinkable. And the fact that you now can make some digital artwork, be it fashion, be it animation, be it anything, and and make it like unique. Like it's crazy, and it's amazing, and it gives us designers and artists, or whatever you want to call me, great opportunities, and then the project with DIGITALAX, it really excites me, because the gaming is super important. It's like each year it's getting bigger and bigger, and like Louis Vuitton made, I feel like I'm only talking about Louis Vuitton, but it's just but Louis Vuitton made a collection for League of Legends. You know that?
No, I did not.
Okay. Google it so people can see it. Just Google Louis Vuitton and League of Legends, and okay, if you don't find that, I can send you a link.
Oh, I'm seeing it right now. That's insane.
And the fact that they did this, it's crazy, because it means that they are recognizing League of Legends and gaming in general as a potential industry for them, and imagine if instead of making like real clothes, they made like a set of skins for League of Legends that are Louis Vuitton, right? And then imagine if those you can tokenize those skins and make them unique. The price that you can get out of that is crazy. And so that's why I think, I'm here in DIGITALAX doing this with them, because I see the potential, and I think it's absolutely great,
100%. And I think Gucci is actually partnering with this new business called Genies, who are creating these designer outfits for the metaverse, basically, and for avatars, which is insane.
Yeah, it's super great. And it's for me, the thing that's most crazy is that like it can have more value inside a game than outside, because you see someone in the street wearing Louis Vuitton or Gucci or whatever, and 90% of people doesn't even notice it, and the ones that notice it are like, okay, cool, good for you, right? And just it. But it's true. But if you get like a unique object or a unique piece of whatever in game, like everybody notices it, and like it has more social value, right? If I have my unique item inside World of Warcraft or League of Legends or whatever, it has more value than having a Gucci clothes in the street, right? Because everybody notices in game, but nobody notices outside. So I don't know, the potential is there.
100%. I think there's huge potential there as well, and hopefully one day, wink, wink, you'll be one of the designers for them as well. Wink, wink. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions. Since you are a self-taught animator, how do you motivate yourself to keep learning animation?
I don't know. I just love doing it. Like I enjoy the process a lot. And it's a way to express myself also, and I just have a new idea, and like I really like solving problems. This is maybe my designer brain, but when I have an idea and it's okay, I want to do this, but I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do this. So all the process of investigating and trying to achieve what I have in mind is what keeps me going, because it's really fun to me. And then when you see the final result, I don't know, it was worth it, right? This is what keeps me going.
I think it's because sometimes the process might be a bit treacherous, or and I love that the problem solving again, right? Because I feel like you kind of need to have a creative angle in order to be a problem solver. It has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just something that you touch on that point.
Yeah, because if there is a problem, it's because somebody, like most people, can solve it, right? Because if it's common knowledge, everybody, there's not a problem, right? So you need to be creative and think outside of the box to solve a problem. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So yeah, you definitely have to be creative to solve a problem.
100%. And we also have another question from Zairut. How do you make animation so that each animation looks attractive, dramatic, with natural movements?
Oh wow. So the fact that it looks attractive or not, I don't know if they do. Like, I do what I like, and maybe, and again, I think this is my designer background. It's like I know what looks good, or what people think looks good, because I've done a lot of art direction for campaigns and photography and stuff like that. So I kind of have a knowledge of where the lights, like, to render this stuff, you need some like photography knowledge, because even if it's inside a 3D software, you have to choose the right lens length. You have to properly position the lights. So all that stuff is what makes it look nice, or at least to me. Probably there's some people that think exactly whatever. And how I do it, I don't know. I just try until I like it. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for coming on. But I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not sure if this might be, a tough question or not, but if you are a collector of NFT art, what is your single most favorite NFT that you own or you hope to own?
Oh wow, that's a good one. I'd love to have one from Beeple Crab.
Oh, people. We love people.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? But yeah, I'd love to have, like, he has one on Nifty Gateway that still it's not been sold, because it's like at $666,000 or something like that. Some like six sixes, something stupid like that. And I'd love to have that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wasn't that he had three pieces, right? It was one the politics is bullshit, and the other two were, and the other two pieces, right? I wanted them so bad too, but they were gone for all sixes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd love to have one of those.
Same here. I would love to as well.
Yeah.
Oh, if only, right? In the world.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. Yeah.
I like I just tipped you 666 whale. So there you have it. It's full circle. Thank you everyone for listening in. I hope you guys enjoy this show. I learned a lot about history, like about your history in designing, and about the creative brain and logical brain, and how you kind of use that problem solving mindset into creating art and rendering as well. So thank you so much for that. Again, stay tuned next week for another show of cryptos and fashion. And yeah, I hope everyone has an amazing day and take care.
Thank you. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Of course. Awesome.